One of the most frustrating aspects of using social media for your business is all the time and effort you have to put into content creation. I'm sure you can agree with that one. There's this hard battle between making sure you're consistently posting content and staying in front of your audience and wanting to throw your phone into the water and never have to post something again. I totally get it. There are times when I'm feeling inspired, creating content, going live, and honestly enjoying it. But then there are also times where I just don't want to do any of it. That's why I focus so much on automation for the front end of my content. From a business owner side of things, I don't really have all the time in the world to create content as much as someone who's just starting with their business. But also from a personal side of things, it can get really exhausting and annoying having to always be on, right? The automation side of things definitely help for sure. Having my content post automatically for me, regardless if I'm online or not. But that doesn't mean I haven't put in the time and effort beforehand to have that content going out live for me. Writing captions. I have a note on my phone where whenever I'm inspired, I quickly write something down. But photos, that is a whole other ball game. Making sure you have photos to post on social media. Making sure you have photos to use for ads, to use for emails, to use for funnels, for graphics, for downloads, you name it. Literally, it's something that takes time and takes effort. Something you don't want to have to just think about doing every single day. Plus, if we're being really, really honest here, how many of us actually enjoy taking photos and getting ourselves ready every single day? I sure don't. If I have to do my hair, put on makeup, and wear something other than my bathing suit or a sweatshirt, I don't want to do it. So taking photos while I'm lounging and not really feeling it every day, it's just not going to happen for me. Let's be realistic here, okay? What actually happens when we're in that mood where we don't want to take photos, but we need to take photos that day, it just kind of ruins the buzz. But what do? This is where being a planner actually comes in handy. I like to call this concept batching your photos, a concept and a habit to develop that will make sure you consistently have photos ready for your content. If you learn one thing from this episode, you'll be well on your way to never having to stress about having photos every single day. Before I walk you through my 3-step photo process for social media content, do you mind if I ask you a quick favor? Do you mind hitting that like and subscribe button on this platform that you're hanging out with me on right now? It will help spread this episode to more entrepreneurs who need to hear this content too. Plus, if you leave a rating and review, you'll be entered to win free access to my social media automation bootcamp program. This is where I teach you everything you need to know about the front end of content creation, from writing captions, creating reels, batching your photos. You get access to my 90-day social media content plan where I tell you exactly what to post for 90 days. And my favorite aspect, automating your content. So it will automatically post for you live. That way you don't have to live on social media at all. Again, all you have to do is leave a rating and review, and on the first episode of every single month, one individual will get free access to that program. I'll make sure to link the details down for you below. So let's get to it. How do you consistently ensure that you have photos for content ready to go? As I said, I follow a very specific process that I complete really every few months. I schedule a photo shoot, I choose my theme for my outfits, and I create a photo vision list. That's the 3 steps. Now, before you think about it, do you need a professional photographer? Ask yourself that. There absolutely is a time and place for it, but more times than not, it's not mandatory. Regardless if you have a photographer that you are working with or if you're doing this by yourself, the first thing you have to do is schedule it into your calendar. Block off the morning, get yourself ready with your hair and makeup for whatever you need to do. Get yourself ready, okay? And then what I want you to do is take some photos. But you'll actually want to schedule this into your schedule or you won't do it. Treat it like an interview with a huge client because it's just as important. If you are using a professional photographer, you'll most likely have to schedule that in advance. But again, I'll repeat myself, you do not need a professional photographer. Everyone starts off small, and it really doesn't matter whether you have a professional photographer or not in the grand scheme of things. What's important is that you get these shoots done. Sometimes my photographer will do my branding photo shoots, or sometimes it's my sister or my husband. And honestly, sometimes it's my ring light and a camera timer. I work with what I got at the time, but I schedule it into my content, into my calendar, and I know I'm going to do it that day. Now, once I've scheduled my photo shoot, I think about the overall vibe I'm going for. Is it a lifestyle photo shoot where I'm out and about around the town or the city? A laptop lifestyle shoot where I'm working on my computer? Is it a couple shots where I'm doing with my photos with my husband, a fitness shoot? What do I need for my content? That's what I ask myself. And when you determine the vibe, it's time to choose your outfits. The biggest mistake I see people make when they block off time for a photo shoot is that they wear the same outfit for 100 photos. If you have the same vibe, same location, same outfit, you can't use all these photos for your content. You just can't. Your audience will get bored and your photos will be the exact same thing, just really repetitive. So what I do is I choose 5 to 7 different outfits. If I get 5 to 10 good photos in each outfit and then change often, that's amazing. That way I have 5 to 7 different completely vibes. It doesn't seem like all these photos were taken in the same day, although yes, they were. One other aspect you need to pay attention to with the vibe and the outfits is the season that you're going into. Winter photos or photos you get done in long sleeves, you don't want to use that when it's summer and 30 degrees outside. That's why I do 7 outfits, then I'll repeat the process again in a few months. So you plan and you do it again. The last step of the process before you actually do the photo shoot is creating a photo vision list. What is the actual look you want for these photos? I think the best way to create what you want is by looking for images with the look that you're looking for. It can be very difficult to express that imagination to your photographer. That's why it's easier to pick pictures that express what you want in your photos, and then you try to mimic those photos or at least get the same vibe, right? To find photo examples, it is honestly super, super easy. There are thousands of photos on social media, on Pinterest that you can look at. Simply spend some time scrolling and screenshot the images that you like. I also find this helps with posing for photos, especially if you don't do photo shoots often. If you're not used to taking photos or standing in different photos or poses, yeah, it's going to be awkward. So find some that are sitting, standing, walking, leaning over, levels, different styles. It's going to pop up on social media for you. And when you have them in front of you, just mimic it. You will feel awkward, but my photographer always says, if it doesn't feel awkward, you're not doing it right. The next part is where the fun actually happens. Literally, this can be fun. It'll be awkward, but it can be fun. The actual photo shoot. All this prep work will have you getting a lot of photos done in one sitting. Aim for 10 good photos in each outfit in different poses. Then change it up and do it again. Over time, you'll get better and better with these photo shoots. And honestly, my first photo shoot was super, super awkward. I hated it. I hired my photographer and he had to tell me exactly what to do for everything. I was super stiff. I was uncomfortable. It was so uneasy. Now I do them and honestly, I actually enjoy them. So again, it comes down to planning. The last thing that I want to talk about is editing the photos that you've taken. This process is usually very easy if you do hire a professional photographer because they do it for you. However, if you don't hire a professional photographer, you can edit the pictures yourself. The process certainly won't be seamless, but the learning curve of it is honestly amazing because there's apps out there for you. For example, you can pretty much learn how to do basic editing with apps like Lightroom in just a day. You can also just apply interesting presets to your images and call it a day. That's the easiest thing you can do. There are a lot of options for you, but all you need is the willingness to do some research and a bit of patience to actually learn it. There are a lot of editing apps that you can use on your phone to get exactly what you're looking for. When you're done with editing, what's next is take all of your photos, put them in a folder for future use. If you do this once a month or every other month, you'll always have photos for content. Batching photos will make sure that your social media job is so much easier and would make your account stand out because you have fun photos. And that's important because the worst thing that you can do is come off unprofessional with the quality of content and just be boring. Of course, this doesn't mean that you should not humanize your brand. All it means is that you shouldn't jeopardize the expert status that you have while you're posting random crappy photos, to say the least. Photos speak 1,000 words, so ask yourself, what do you want your photos to say about you and your brand? But that's it. There's 3 steps. Well, actually, I think there was 5 steps. Schedule a shoot, determine the vibe and the outfit, create a vision list, actually have the photo shoot, edit your photos, and you're good to go. Remember, you do not need a professional photographer, but they definitely will help the quality and the editing side of your photos. So if you can do it, highly recommend it. But it's also super fun to go with other entrepreneurs. Go for a fun day and just snap photos. Give it a try and let me know what you think. And don't forget, make sure to leave a rating and review for a chance to win free access to the Social Media Automation Bootcamp program. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I'll see you next week. Bye for now.